Ano nga ba ang peso cost averaging at bakit napakagandang strategy nito for long-term investing? Yan ang pag-uusapan natin sa video na to. Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. For today, ipapakita ko sa inyo yung isang webinar na ginawa ko I think 10 years ago. Yeah, medyo luma na. But it is all about peso cost averaging. In-explain ko kung ano ba ito, paano ito ginagawa, at ano ba yung benefits niya. Mapapansin nyo na medyo luma na yung video, pagpasensyahan nyo na, but I think it is still very informative and educational at I'm sure marami kayong matututunan dito. But before we start, please remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow our Facebook page.
Cost averaging is an easy and simple investing strategy that everyone can do. What is cost averaging? So, as a simple definition, cost averaging is an investment strategy which requires systematically purchasing securities at predetermined intervals and set limits over a long period of time. So, an example would be buying 6,000 pesos worth of Jollibee shares in the stock market every 2 months. Ang important dito is yung set amount mo at saka yung frequency. Okay? Pwede siyang every month, pwedeng every 2 months, quarterly, twice a year, or even just once a year. But the recommended, personally, is monthly. But if you cannot afford to invest every month, at least every 2 or 3 months, you do it. How to do cost averaging? So the first step is to determine the amount that you can afford to invest at a regular basis. So it all goes down to your budget. Magkano ba yung kaya kong i-invest? Once you know how much you can afford to invest, the next step is to decide how often you will invest that amount. So, for example, you have an extra 3,000 pesos every month, but you don't really want to invest every month. So, sabihin natin na, okay, I will invest every 2 months. So, may ipon yung 3,000 from the previous month, then pwede ka mag-invest ng 6,000 pesos every 2 months. If you are going to do it every 3 months, so that's 9,000 pesos every 3 months. Okay? The important thing here, again, is to determine how much would be comfortable for you and how often can you afford it. After that, the next step is as simple as buying the stocks that exhibit yung sinabi kong 5 categories, yung GEMS categories. These are the premium growth stocks or premium growth securities. At this point, bumibili ka lang ng stocks na pinili mo. The question again is, when do you sell it? Since we are investing and we are not trading, when you are selling, the determining factor when it comes to investing is to sell your stocks when you have reached your investment objective. I will show you an example on how cost averaging works. No? So let's say that today is January 2013, then the price per share of a particular stock is 30 pesos per share. So we decided that we will invest 6,000 pesos regularly, I think every 3 months, for example, no? So with 6,000 pesos and 30 pesos per share, you can actually buy 200 shares. Diba? So of course we did not include the taxes and the fees here to make this example much easier to understand. So the total invested so far is 6,000 pesos and your total shares is 200, and the average price per share is 30 pesos. So how did you get the average price per share? You simply divided the total invested by the total number of shares. So 6,000 pesos divided by 200, that's 30 pesos. On March, so the price of that stock went down to 20 pesos. Again, it's time for us to invest. We will invest 6,000 pesos again. So the amount invested should be the same. So with 6,000 pesos and at 20 pesos per share, you will now be able to buy more shares, and in fact you will be able to buy 300 shares of this particular stock. So how much have you invested already? You will have a total investment of 12,000 pesos. And then your total number of shares will be 500. So 200 from the previous period, and then 300 shares now, for a total of 500. So when you compute the average price per share, it's 12,000 pesos divided by 500. That's how you get the 24 peso average price per share. On May 2013, that's the next period that you will buy this particular stock. So let's say bumaba pa rin yung stock ng 10 pesos per share. So why is the price of that stock going down? We don't really know, but for stock market traders, this is already a sign of caution for them, no? Magpapanik na sila dyan, yung mga stock market traders. But if you're a stock market investor, this is actually quote-unquote good news. Why? Because the stocks that you are trying to buy or trying to invest on is becoming cheaper. Okay? So again, the importance of buying the right stocks, which are the premium growth stocks, you should not really be worried when the price of that stock is going down, because you are investing for the long term. So you know that this is probably just a temporary correction. So the price per share is 10 pesos right now. So again, you will invest the same amount, which is 6,000 pesos, and now you can afford 600 new shares. So the total investment is now 18,000 pesos, and your total number of shares is 1,100 shares. If you divide 18,000 by 1,100, the average price per share is now 16.36 pesos. Okay, 16 pesos and 36 centavos. The next period, July 2013, the price went up to 20 pesos. So again, you buy at a fixed amount of 6,000 pesos, bring your total investment to 24,000 pesos, and a total number of shares of 1,400. So the average price per share is now 17 pesos and 14 centavos. So we will just continue doing this. September 2013, at 30 pesos, you buy 6,000 pesos worth of shares. On November 2013, the price went down again to 20. And then on January 2014, the price went down again to 10 pesos. Okay? So as you can see, the price of the stock went down and then went up again, and then it went down again. On March 2014, price of the stock is at 20 pesos. So imagine if you had invested January 2013, you invested all your money there at that time. On March 2014, hindi mo mabebenta yon kasi lugi ka dahil 20 pesos per share. Kung inubos mo lahat ng pera mo noong January 2013 and bought the stock at 30 pesos per share, diba? Hindi mo siya mabebenta. Ngayon, kung binili mo siya during March 2013, hindi mo pa rin siya mabebenta kasi because of the fees and the taxes, will also probably lose money. Finally, if you invested during May 2013 or even in January 2014, kikita ka kasi 10 pesos per share mo lang siya na bili. But the question is, how do you know if it is already at the bottom? Diba? Paano mo malalaman kung yun na yung pinakamababa at tataas na siya? The way to know that is to really study the market. You read on company reports, you do fundamental analysis, you do technical analysis. Basically, you do what stock market traders do. Now, since we are doing stock market investing, and personally ako, I like stock market investing because it uses less time, so I can focus more on my business, on doing some of the other things that I love. So anyway, at March 2014, the price of the stock is 20 pesos per share. At this point, we have a total of 2,500 shares. If we sold all of those shares at 20 pesos, we will have 50,000 pesos, which is kumita pa tayo ng 8,000 pesos because our total investment is just 42,000 pesos. How did that happen? Because our average price per share went down to 16.80. So even if the price of the share is maging 18 pesos, kikita pa rin tayo. So when do you do cost averaging? So for medium to long-term investment goals, sa mga investment goals mo that will require at least 3 years or more. Okay? Yung example natin is it's just a span of 1 year. But what I recommend is dapat yung investment goal mo is at least 3 years from the point that you started. Okay? Kasi di ba sabi ko, when are you going to sell your shares? You are going to sell your shares when you reach your investment goal. Ano yung mga magagandang goals for peso cost averaging? So, number 1, your child's educational fund. And of course, the most common goal is for your retirement fund. So, imagine doing cost averaging for 10, 20 years. Those are 2 examples of financial goals that where you can use the cost averaging strategy. So, why is cost averaging good? There's very little need to time the market, unlike yung mga traders na talagang nakatutok. And it's also a passive way to invest. So, you can focus more on other active ways to make money. Cost averaging is good because it allows you to earn acceptable profits in a sideways market. Our example was a sideways movement of the price. So, yung blue sa chart natin, sa graph natin, yun yung price ng stock. And as you can see, it's sideways. It's just going up and down. But the average price of your stock, mapapansin mo, it's actually below the median. Mas mababa siya dun sa gitna. And it's consolidating on that level. Konting taas lang niya, pwede mo siyang ibenta, hindi ka lugi. Another reason why it is good, for example, a particular stock is going up, and then it suddenly went down, you will actually have more time to think about if you should already sell. No? So it gives you more time to decide if you should redeem your shares when the market reverses down. Okay? So the time to reach break-even is medyo matagal. More often than not, mga premium growth stocks, they do experience correction. Bababa talaga siya at one point because yung mga nag-invest dati, tsaka yung mga traders, they will start taking their profits and they will start selling their shares. Kaya magkakaroon yan ng decline. But since you are buying a premium growth stock, ibig sabihin talagang a company that will grow through the years, more and new investors will come in, which will drive the price of the stock to go up again. You reach break even faster when the market recovers. So ito na yon, no? So pababa siya, and then pag umakyat na siya ulit, mas maikli yung time para mag-break even ka.
And that's the end of our video, and I hope ay marami kayong natutunan at na-convince ko na kayo na mag-peso cost averaging. Hanggang sa susunod ulit nating video, please remember to subscribe to my channel and follow our Facebook page. Goodbye, take care, and stay safe.